Good day, our esteemed viewers. My name is Humomot Ajao, a 500 level student of the College of Law, Bowen University, and an undergraduate intern at HARLEM Solicitors. Today, I'll be taking you on the duty of care and environmental remedial obligations under the Nigerian Telecommunications law. Environmental remedial obligation can be defined as removal of contaminants or pollutants from the environmental media, such as the soil, water surface, or other sediments. What is duty of care? Duty of care is the legal obligation placed on an individual or organization to ensure that their omission does not cause harm to the environment. Various regulations, acts, and guidelines have made provisions for duty of care. The Nigerian Communications Act 2003, the National Environmental Standard for Telecommunication and Broadcasting Facilities Regulation 2011, and the Guidelines for Technical Specifications for the Installation of Masts and Towers 2009. Section 136, subsection 1 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 provides that all telecom providers during the installation of their facilities take reasonable steps to ensure that they cause as little detriment and inconvenience and as little damage as practicable. Section 136, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 also provides that all licensees, as regards to the use of any land, shall ensure that during the activity they restore the land to the condition it was similar before the activity began. The Nigerian Communications Act 2003 discourages all forms of detriment or inconvenience on the land, however vestigial, during the installation of their network facilities. Moving on, Section 136, subsection 3 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 provides that during the installation of network facilities, the network provider shall ensure that 1. They act in accordance with good engineering practice, 2. Protect the safety of persons and the property, and 3. They must ensure that their actions does not deter 1. The operations of the public utility, 2. The use of the land, 3. They must also ensure that it does not affect the people in the land. For example, it does not affect people in the land and the host and the immediate transit neighborhood. The National Environmental Standard for Telecommunication and Broadcasting Facilities also make provision. Regulation 5, subsection 2 provides that all broadcasting facilities will be subject to environmental audits every 3 years, once every 3 years. Regulation 5, subsection 3 provides that in the installation of telecommunication facilities, they must ensure that it does not affect the environment, the public health, and general welfare. 2. It must also ensure that it must be in conformity with the plan of the community. Majorly, that all installation must comply with all national resources conservation laws, guidelines, and regulations where the facilities is in either protected areas or ecologically sensitive areas such as national parks, wildlife areas, or the forest. Now we'll talk on the penalties or the sanctions under the 2011 regulation, also known as the National Environmental Standard for Telecommunications and Broadcasting Facilities. Regulation 11, subsection 2 provides that where the telecom provider fails to follow the provisions of this regulation, it will be on conviction will be sanctioned for 5 million naira and also 5 million naira or imprisonment for 5 years or both, and also an additional fine of 50,000 naira for every day default persists. For environmental remedial obligation, Regulation 11 subsection 3 now provides that the site owner or the service provider will also be sanctioned and will have to go for remediation and removal of the polluted environment. Abandonment of masts and towers. The environmental remedial obligation ensures that masts and towers are not abandoned and are not left in a bad position. Now, the guidelines on technical specifications for the installation of masts and towers, Chapter 5, Paragraph 9, Sub 4, provides that where a mast and tower has been abandoned, a mast and tower is said to be abandoned when it has not been used for 3 years. So, for the commission to ascertain that a mast and tower has been abandoned, it will request the appropriate documentation from the site owner to determine the date of the abandonment. It is worthy to note that in every site, a logbook is usually available, and a logbook contains the important information that is carried out in the site. The maintenance due date, minor maintenance due date, the name of the inspector, and the date the inspector came in. Where the abandonment has been ascertained, the commission will therefore write a 90-day notice to the tower owner. After, for either to commence usage of the site or to dismantle the site. Where the 90 days notice has expired and the site owner has refused or neglected to do anything as regards the notice given to them, then the commission will go ahead to dismantle and decommission the site, and the cost or the fees of such dismantle will be borne by the tower owner, and also a fine of not less than 250,000 naira will be paid by the site owner. Moving on, the guidelines on technical specifications for the installation of masts and towers has given us its own provision. We also have the regulations for the National Environmental Standard for Telecommunication and Broadcasting Facilities, has also given us provisions for the abandonment of masts and towers. Regulation 6 sub 2 provides that no abandoned masts and towers will be allowed to have a negative effect or impact on the environment or individuals. Where a site has been said to be abandoned, that is 3 years, and there has been no use in the site, the NESTRA, that is National Environmental Standard and Regulations Enforcement Agency, will dismantle the site with regards to the Environmental Impact Assessment Act, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004. This act is to ensure that all site owners or all service providers ensure compliance and cause as little detriment to the environment. Finally, there is a statutory duty of care placed on service providers to ensure that they do not cause any damage or detriment to the environment, to the public and individuals. For more enquiries, kindly visit our website at www.harlemsolicitors.com and our social media pages at Harlem Solicitors. For more exciting and educating videos, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel at Harlem Solicitors. Thank you.